Hello everyone, good morning. We are going to be getting started very shortly. This is Have Faith, Let It Begin early edition because we've been having a lot of issues with the notifications letting you know that we're live. So we're going to be going on a little early today. Today I'm not running late, yay. So that's kind of interesting. We are in the process right now of commuting. As we speak, I had to go to work a little earlier than usual because we've just gone over an ice storm, crazy ice storm that is, and this morning I let my car warm up for about 30 to 45 minutes, and it was still a sheet of ice on top of it, but once I started scraping, it was as if it just melted right off, so that's a good sign. Like I said, we are coming to you just a little bit live right now because we are in the process of making sure everyone is aware that we're live, and that's because of the delay on the whole format. But that's good to know, that at least that we have opportunity for everybody to come on. Today is Wednesday, February 13th, 2019. We're gonna have a very interesting episode today. If you saw the title, it's called Feeling Insecure. So we're going to have a little in-depth personal testimony this morning about something that happened to me in the past, and I want to share with each and every one of you. I think it's going to be something that we can work on together, and hopefully will help those out there that may or may not be feeling what I used to feel many years ago as we got closer and closer to Valentine's Day. And certain holidays, particularly when I was single and didn't have much opportunity to go out there and meet, a single young lady at the time, or not having a very good dating, let's just say, stretch, so to speak. All right, so with that being said, let me just go over a couple things with some business. Don't forget, everybody, Have Faith, Let It Begin is always available to you on any platform that offers the podcast. If you have an iPhone, the iOS, that's an iPhone user, on your actual iPhone, you can scroll to your apps and there's this purple icon and it says podcasts. Select that feature, look up Have Faith, Let It Begin. You'll see our logo and subscribe. We also encourage you to put some comments and some likes. Let us know which episodes are your favorites. Don't forget, we are also available on our main platform, Spreaker, Spreaker. That's right, Spreaker has got its own app as well, and you can subscribe. All this is free. Our show is free, and subscribe right away. Get in touch with us and let us know how you feel. In addition to that, if you don't want to have that and you like to go on YouTube, well, guess what? We have a YouTube channel, and that is AWS Santana. That's our YouTube channel. Go ahead and take a look at it. We are available there as well. Have Faith, Let It Begin. All of our episodes, including some actual episodes of myself preaching live at my church whenever my pastor goes away or they're in need of a sermon to be said. In addition to all this, we are available on Podcast Player, Player FM. We are available on Spotify, our iHeartRadio. iTunes is available as well. If you don't want to do the podcast app on your iPhone, you can go to iTunes. We are available on Tumblr, SoundCloud, CastBox Player. These are all platforms that you can take a look and listen to our show. We encourage you to go to social media. We have a like page, Have Faith, Let It Begin, like page on our Facebook. We have also an email, and that's havefaithlig@gmail.com. Write to us. Let us know about any ideas, topics, personal testimony that maybe have changed your life. And let us know anything that, even if you want to just share something, we can put your story on the air. If you want to come on the air, we would welcome you too. We want everyone to feel like this is their channel. We're closing it at 7:28, and we'll be going live in 2 minutes. Again, we started a little early this morning, not for the actual episode, but to make sure everybody got the notifications that we're live. So I know a lot of the kids out there are in the process right now of having a 2-hour delay or possibly a no school day. Yay, good for them, good for them. I myself am headed to work, so that's That's the opposite, but that's okay. I like my job, so it doesn't matter. And folks, with that being said, we're closing in on almost 7:29. So we're going to get ready and get. Hold on, I almost got hit with flying ice on the highway because I'm driving on the highway, and ice from the top of trucks are flying off and almost hit me right in the windshield. So we got to get into some safe area before we go live here. Hold on, let me just get into the non-fast lane here. And that's what happens. Anything can happen when we're live, right? That's it. No editing. We're going. All right, folks. With that being said, let's get started for another edition of Have Faith, Let It Begin, live edition. Let's start off with an intro from Bella. Take it over, Bella.
Hi, my name is Isabella, and you're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
When I was a child, my mom always told me, Angel, when you were born, all the angels came from heaven. Do you know why? Because you're special. On June 16, 2018, I launched my show, Have Faith, Let It Begin. I always wanted to change the world, share my personal testimony, share real-life stories and motivational topics to set out to go out and change the world. Join me each and every week, Monday through Friday at 6 a.m., because this is a show all about faith. My name is Angel, and welcome to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Hello, my name is Amari, and today we are back on another episode of Have Faith and Let's Begin.
Have faith, let it begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live edition of Have Faith, Let It Begin, Wednesday, February 13th, 2019. As I started the introduction, the sun has shined out here on my left side, and it is bright, and it is giving me my path, and it is just brightening up my morning and making me feel like this episode was meant to be. If you saw the title, it is called Feeling Insecure. Let's get right into it, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, in my past, growing up, I was always a chunky kid. I grew up with being the youngest of four, and I was the chunky one. I was picked on. My brothers and sisters, I mean, of course, they do. Mainly my brothers, not so much my sister. But throughout the years, as the, name calling and being picked on took its toll on me mentally, physically, I started to feel better about myself as a whole. As middle school came around and girls started to get it, interesting for me, I started to realize that in my mind at the time that maybe I wasn't the greatest looking kid. And yet I have a lot of friends. I didn't have a girlfriend. Now, mind you, do you have to have a girlfriend at that age? Of course not. But when you're 14, 15 years old, you think you know it all. So everybody around you has a boyfriend, has a girlfriend. All my buddies had girlfriends except for me. So, of course, I tried my very best to find a girlfriend, but I couldn't find one. There was one girl in particular that liked me, but of course, being a teenager and thinking that it was important that everyone around me supported my decision, or I worried too much about what people thought, I didn't give that young lady an opportunity. Thinking back today, I wish I would have. She's a beautiful girl, and no one should have told me how I should have felt. But again, when you're a teenager, you listen to every and anybody around you, and you think that their opinion matters. That was not the case, of course. As you get older, you realize you're your own person. As I got into high school, I started to date. I met a couple girls, and I did date a little bit. Things felt like they were making the turn for the better. I got involved in a relationship for a couple of years throughout high school and my early ages of college. And unfortunately, that particular relationship took its toll on my insecurity. The individual that I was with for 2.5 to 3 years, and it felt like 6, would always ridicule me about my weight and make me feel insecure about how I felt as a person. As I got into my adulthood and got into my early 20s, that stayed with me. Being picked on as a kid, and then having a person that you think you love or reciprocate that love, ridicule you and bring you down, took its toll upon me. So I'm sure some of us, if not all, at one point in our lives have been bullied, have been picked on, put down. It is not a fun feeling. And it certainly doesn't make us feel any safer within our own bodies, or within our own skin. And it just makes our lives a little bit harder. As I got older and branched out on my own in Providence, Rhode Island, I became friends with many new individuals. And we'll just say that these individuals, when walking into a club environment, a bar, or any location, can easily turn heads. Women would flock to them, and I found myself as the odd man out yet again. But this time, I had a different type of motivation. I felt as if I had more to give. Maybe that my looks weren't the greatest, but I knew deep down inside I had a better heart. I treated girls or women better even than my own friends, who may have looked the part but didn't act the part. Relationships came and gone, and along the way I found relationships that became semi-turmoil, I'm trying to think of the word, how to say it here. We'll just say half of those relationships became toxic. They started to make fun of my weight yet again. I remember one time I was hanging out with my good friend. His name was Jay. And we were hanging out, and the girl had said to me in front of him, you know, this week we're going to go out and we're going to buy you some new clothes. And I said, why would I need new clothes? I got plenty of clothes. She says, well, you know, the clothes you wear, you know, don't hide things that need to be hidden. And I said, hide what? She says, well, you know, you have extra parts of you that really should be hidden. And I said, are you calling me fat? She says, no, I'm not. Let's just say you eat very well. Well, let's just say that relationship ended about an hour later. Where am I going with this whole backstory? As I got older and older, and I finally realized that I had to really believe in myself, that's when I realized I was a good-looking person. That's when in my mind I look in the mirror, I say, I am a good-looking person. I am not ugly. I have plenty to offer, and I refuse to allow anyone to steal my joy. Eventually, I met up with what ultimately became my wife, who treated me better than I could have ever imagined, who has treated me like a superstar, like a king, and tells me almost every day how good looking I am to her and how good I am to her and our daughter. Folks, the purpose of today's episode is to share with each and every one of you that all of us at one point has felt insecure, whether it's about our looks, whether it's about the way we perform at our job, whether it's how we are at home in a relationship. One thing is for sure, if you're true to yourself, if you believe in yourself, if you allow others to come up and steal your joy, things become harder. But if you believe in yourself, if you trust in yourself, if you believe in God and know that you were made in His image, then guess what? You're perfect. You are perfect just the way you are. And no one can dispute that. No one. Because when you're made by someone who is perfect, when you are made by somebody who's given nothing but love, who is made by love, by joy, that makes you a perfect person. That makes you the kind of individual that you were destined to be. Many of you may be listening to this episode and say, yeah, that sounds easy, but I still get made fun of, or my husband or my wife always tells me I need to lose weight. Well, that could be a possibility. Maybe health-wise, it would be in your best interest to get in better shape, myself included. I raise my hands, both. Not now because I'm driving, but yes. However, that does not allow anyone the opportunity to tell you that you are an ugly person, to tell you that you are not someone that has so much more potential, so much to offer other people. Regardless of whatever you may have, allergies, a certain maybe birthmark, I've heard this many times, one toe bigger than the other, scars, I've got many, mentally, physically, it does not matter. You have the opportunity to present yourself in a way that no one else can duplicate, because you are made in the image and the eyes of God, and God doesn't make mistakes, and you are one of His greatest achievements. And these are not words. This is the things that I've learned over the last couple of years. So as we get closer to tomorrow's Valentine's Day, if you're not in a relationship, if you're feeling insecure, if you're feeling alone, I understand, because I've been there. But understand this: being alone is not a punishment. Feeling insecure is something we can fix. Just believe in yourself, trust in others, and remember, it doesn't matter what other people think or say. It is what you bring to the table. It is what you bring to the world. And since God made you, since God provided you with the gift of life, air that we breathe, take it, expand on it, believe in it, trust in it, and remember that God is with you always. And so are we on this show. For Have Faith, Let It Begin. My name is Angel. We'll be back for the prayer edition.
Hi, I am Mia. You're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for what you've given us today, and that's life. We ask you, Lord, now to go out into the world, to touch our lives, to believe in us, to give us faith, to give us hope, to allow us to believe and trust and love one another, and especially us. And we ask you this in your precious name. And we ask you to watch over all those that are traveling to and from work in this frigid, icy weather. And to protect all first responders, military personnel, foreign and domestic. And we ask this of you in your precious name. Amen. Amen. Have a great day, everyone. Have faith. Let it begin. Thank you for listening to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin. You're going to hear episodes, me recording live as my daughter in the background, Ariel, will probably cry. You'll hear background noises like phone calls. And right on the cue, she's starting to cry. Don't worry, everybody. We're going to continue on like never before. And with Ariel in the background, knowing that in the future you're going to hear yourself crying like this, Mama, yeah, say hi to everybody out there. We just want to encourage each and every one of you to join us every single weekday, Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Join me, Ariel, my family, and everyone as we continue our journey. For Have Faith, Let It Begin, my name is Angel. Say goodbye, Ariel. Say bye. And bye.